Hello guys, how is it going? I hope that all is well with you guys. Please confirm if you can hear me well. We're gonna talk about the solutions of today's contest. We also are gonna have a solution discussion of the Codeforces problem, Codeforces contest very soon. I mean, just 7, 8 hours. So if you are all ready, we can now start talking about the solutions. I read the problems and uh, they looked interesting. If everything is fine, we can. Well, it's like this. You can start. I still can't believe how. Imagine being a cheater. Number one pasted all in 4 minutes. That's really interesting. Yeah, maybe he coded it. Why you're so pessimistic? Yeah, that's weird. Let me uh let me bring the ranking. That's really weird. Maybe he wanted to humiliate the uh authors and Leetcode that I could easily cheat. From where could we? Yeah, I think that most of these problems can be solved with AI because the ideas were very repetitive. I mean, they were not very new, creative, or unique ideas. The problems on Leetcode, as you know, they are very easier than problems on Codeforces. So I think it makes sense that AI can solve them, especially new Gemini definitely can solve them. Yeah, Codeforces both has harder problems than last problems, and also I think it has detection. I want to see tourists attend one of these. Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, how many problems you solved, guys? Let's talk a little bit, so that's the rest and wait for the rest to join. And is there any person that is watching the streams for the first time or not? I want to know that is there anyone who participates on Leetcode contests but not on Codeforces contest? So they were not watching the previous live streams, but they're watching this. Okay, nice, interesting. Could not attend the contest. 3 from 4, able to solve 3, able to solve 2, 1 from 4. I see. Yeah, watching for the first. Oh, nice. It was your first Leetcode contest. Congratulations. Great. Guys, you can, again, I mean, we have a great community that we are building. We also have a contest this weekend that is coming. It was supposed to be tomorrow Eastern time. Right now I'm in Maryland. But anyway, we have these roadmaps that you can learn from them. I'm starting to add, I mean, there are many new roadmaps that are being added. But graph theory is almost done, for example. I mean, 9 sections are added. So if you want, you can take a look at these roadmaps. We have the bootcamp, Centroid Bootcamp the next session is gonna be on 24th of November. So we are trying to build something really, really amazing that helps you learn the stuff very easily. I think I should show my card here because it's late night. I'm sorry. Wait a minute, I'll be back. Yeah. Yeah, guys, sorry, I'm on the campus still, so because it's 11 p.m. here, they had to check my card. It's not morning here, it's late night. If you just take a look at it, It's, yeah. So, yeah, if you guys are ready, we can now start talking about the problems. I think the solution discussion won't take much time. It's gonna be, it's not evening, man. It's 11 p.m., 11:09. Yeah, it's late night. And I don't know, just please send me energy for tomorrow morning so that I can wake up on time for the Codeforces contest. Because the solution discussion should start around 7:30. And it's very hard. What was your rank? I do not participate on Leetcode contests a lot. I think I've participated twice or thrice. But I was very active on Codeforces. Come from a background of Olympiads, and I was very active on Code. I'm an international grandmaster on Codeforces. Yeah. So let's talk about the problems if you guys are ready. I know that a lot of you are waiting for talking about the solutions, so I don't want to keep you waited more than this. I'm from India and it is 9:40 a.m. Yeah. IGM don't do lead code contest. Yeah, that's right. Because it's let's not humiliate lead code because it's a lead code contest discussion. Lead code is a great platform. They have different purposes. Leetcode is more for job interviews, etc. Codeforces is more for Olympiads. Let's talk about the problems. Okay, guys, let's talk about the first problem. The first problem says that you are given an integer n. You have to form a new integer x by concatenating all the non-zero digits of n in their original order. If there are no non-zero digits, x is 0. Let sum be the sum of digits in x, return an integer representing the value of x times sum. This is a simple brute force problem, right? You can just have a for on all the numbers. Why this is happening? I don't know if my laptop is working weirdly. So, okay, basically, we can just have a for iterate over these these characters, and then whatever that is greater than 0, I can just simply say that I can keep a res. I can say that res time equal to 10 plus equal to that digit. Let me just implement it. You can understand it better because the implementation is very simple. So I can just have a long of, and you are given an integer, right? Integer that is up to 10 to the ninth. I can say that while n is greater than 0, I can write while n. I can say that ans equal to ans times 10 plus n modulo 10, n divided by 10. What am I doing? Each time I'm removing the last digit of n and I'm adding it to the ans. Each time I should first multiply ans by 10 so that I shift it to the left by 1 and then add n modulo 10 to it. I should also say that if n modulo 10 is not 0, I can just say if n modulo 10. And I can just keep a sum as well. And in here, I can also say that sum plus equal to n modulo 10. This way, at the end, ans is going to be the final value that we get. Sum is going to be the sum of them. Let's just submit without compiling. Let's see what happens. We got a wrong answer. That's really great. Yeah, I'm doing something wrong. I should reverse it at the end. So if I want to do it very quickly, I can say that while ans at the end, I should say x equal to 10 times x plus ans modulo 10. I will explain what I'm doing. Ans divided by 10, x times sum. So basically what I was doing previously, it got accepted now. What I was doing previously, each time I'm shifting ans to the left by 1 and I'm adding this new digit at the end of it. But the point was that previously, I mean, when I was doing this only, it was having the number in reverse. So if it was 1, 2, 3, 4, it was mistakenly considering it as 4, 3, 2, 1. Because basically that way we are giving more value to the ones that appear later. I just added this part so that I will reverse the final value at the end. And at the end, I can just return x times sum. And that's going to be it. So basically, guys, it's a simple brute force. I'm sure that most of you have accepted it. So I think that probably doesn't need much time more than this. When I do contest number 2, yeah. If it's completely clear, please put a plus or use this emoji. Why do I submit without compiling? Because I was sure that it gets accepted, but it didn't. So it was fun. So yeah. Uh, so if everything is clear, we can move on to the next problem. Yeah, it can be done more easily with a string. Totally agree. Yeah. Eh, yeah, I thought it's gonna be correct, but it wasn't. I got the wrong answer. So, okay, let's move on to the next problem then. I did not compete today, but I read the problems. So that's we do the solution discussions. So let's move on and talk about the second problem now. It says that the second problem says that given an integer array nums, return the length of the longest subarray that has a bitwise XOR of 0 and contains an equal number of even and odd numbers. If no such subarray exists, return 0. A subarray is a continuous non-empty sequence of elements within an array. So basically, in this problem, we have this array. We want to count that how many substrings exist such that two conditions happen. One is that the XOR of them should be 0. One is that the number of odds and evens will be equal. So, guys, first, I define an easier problem, and we try to solve that to get the intuition. Okay, so let's first just think, what if it was asking us to count the number of subarrays, continuous subarrays, such that their XOR is 0. Let's for now forget about the number of odds and evens. Forget about that they should be equal. Assume that it just wanted us to count the number of intervals that their XOR is 0. Then how could I solve it? If I was just to find out that how many of them have XOR 0. Could you try solving the fourth problem from yesterday's bi-weekly, please? If we could find time at the end of it, we can. But I think sadly, it's gonna be unlikely. But I can do it later on, write it for you. I can write it on repo5. I mean, you can join on. And guys, if you see that the color of my Chrome is red, it's because I installed something and it messed up with my Chrome. If you see that it's different from the previous contests, solution discussions, that's because of that. I can create a post here and I for discussion, and we can talk about it there. And you can ask your questions there, and I can write down that for you. I will create a post there for you. Just check out the repo vibe. And guys, we're gonna have contests, and I'm pretty sure that it's gonna be better than all the contests that already exist. Hopefully next Sunday. You can solve it. Yeah. Do you know don't defense? No. So when is the contest? Our contest is next week. Our contest starts in 7 days, 10 hours. It was supposed to be tomorrow, but for some issues, we had to postpone it to the next week. And mainly because Codeforces had a contest tomorrow as well. So guys, if it was just XOR to be 0, if we were just asking for that, there's something, we have talked about it in our latest bootcamp. I mean, in the newbie to expert bootcamp that we had, talked about prefix sums. It's a very similar thing. We can calculate prefix XORs. For each prefix, calculate its XOR. Okay, calculates the XOR of each prefix. The XOR of an interval is 0 if and only if you consider the first element till element number r and consider the first element till element l minus 1. I'm talking about inclusive intervals for now, even though you know that it's better if we consider the intervals inclusive, exclusive. The XOR of this part is 0 if and only if the XOR of these two parts will be completely equal, right? So all we could do was to calculate the prefix XORs considering the empty prefix as well. We're going to have n plus 1 prefixes. Prefix of length 0, prefix of length 1, prefix of length 2, prefix of length 3, and prefix of length n. We have to count the number of pairs that are equal. And that can be we can easily find that out. We can keep a hash map or a set or a map. That map can, I mean, I'm talking in C++. Map, in our map, we can just calculate that for each possible x, how many prefixes have XOR equal to that x. And whenever we reach a prefix, we can first say that ans plus equal to np of x if the XOR of that prefix is x. We can first say that ans plus equal to np of x. We see that how many x's we have seen previously. And then we can just say that np of x plus plus. We increase the number of x's by 1. So if it was only about XOR, we could just do it with prefix sums easily. We talked about it in our bootcamp on Codeforces sub-expert rating level up. And in these problems that we had in here, we had problems. For example, if you take a look at this, I cannot find it here. But yeah, I mean, I will tell you later on. There was a problem that was about prefix sums. You can take a look at those videos as well, plus 6 sessions that we have on that as well. Is it clear so far? If it's clear, please again put a plus or use this emoji. If it's not, put a minus in the chats or let me know to explain it again. If it's completely clear, I will talk to you about the rest. He's so good. He can do it under 4 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, part. If you know the problem, you can send it here. I couldn't find it when I skimmed through it. So that's how we can count that how many intervals have XOR 0. Now, assume that, let me ask you another question. Now let's assume that I only care about the number of even and odds to be equal. Assume that I only want the number of even and odds to be equal. What I could do in that case was this. This time I can use prefix sums. In the previous parts, we used prefix XOR. Now let's talk about prefix sums. Instead of every odd number, I put 1. Instead of every even number, I put -1. Okay? Or vice versa. But for example, assume that instead of each odd, I put 1. Instead of each even one, I put -1. Now an interval contains equal number of odds and evens if and only if its sum in this new array is 0. So again, if I calculate the prefix sums, it means like if I consider this prefix and if I consider this prefix, their sum should be equal. If their sum of these two is equal, then I can say that the number of odds and even in the middle is going to be the same. So I can use another map for it. I mean, if the problem was only this, if we were not caring about XOR and only care about the number of odds and evens, then it would be like this. And then we could use another map. Again, np of x would be the number of prefixes such that their total sum is x. And just each time as plus equal to np of x plus plus, if x is the total sum till here. Now how can I combine these two? We solved the first part with prefix XOR, second part with prefix sums. Now I can combine these two. No, how you know that? Maybe someone is that good that can solve in a minute. No, I'm joking. Definitely, Gemini 3 is also released, and I believe that it can actually solve all of these problems. So that can explain it. In our map, I think that also on RepoVibe, we should have a good cheat detection system that can understand if a code is generated by AI. We are working on that actually for a contest. Can we also add a key for number of even numbers in prefix? Uh, why do you need the number of even numbers in prefix? Even Colin Gallen can't do informers. You guys know Colin. That's great. Do you know that Colin was also in the same university that I am? We were ICPC teammates last year. I mean, Colin is in UMD. Definitely the guys, because I'm asking you because I see new names. The guys who were on my streams all the time, they definitely know that. Yeah, I'm talking to new people. I mean, many of the videos that we have in here, maybe I can show you at the end. I mean, it's a distraction for now. But many of vlogs that we had was with Colin. Yeah, for example, like this. You can see the face of Colin here. Okay. So uh how can we actually combine these two problems? That's super simple, guys. We can in our map, we can keep a pair of both. We can keep a pair MP of pair of X and Y. That would be actually like this. We keep that how many prefixes their XOR is X, their sum in this array that we say is Y. Now we need two prefixes such that both X and Y for them are equal. So we can use this map. Each time ans plus equal to MP of pair of X and Y this time, and then MP of pair of X and Y plus plus. Now we define pairs and we put pairs inside that. And then simply the problem can be solved. Is it completely clear? How to improve math for CP any website. Guys, that's exactly why we have made the RepoVive community and these roadmaps. We talked a lot. If you were in our previous live streams, you know that we are trying to do something really, really amazing. And that's exactly why we made RepoVive, to fill the gap that exists. I mean, if you take a look at our roadmaps, you can see that we have defined it in a way that helps you to understand the best. Each day, new things are being added. For example, graph theory intro. RepoVive is is a very new platform. I mean, these new 3 sections that are added today. So each day we're gonna add more to it. We definitely, and we have a vote that what roadmap you want to cover next. So you can participate in the vote as well. If you want, I created Combinatorix recently. We can create the rest of the math as well. Yeah, books are also good. Arts of problem solving or mathematical circles. But I don't think nowadays books are the best idea, basically. I myself learned everything on Codeforces. Just an idea. Will we ever have rating system on Rep? Yeah, definitely. We will have rating system on RepoVive. A self-comparative rating system could be great. Yeah, that's interesting. That was an interesting idea. Yeah, sure. I mean, I like the idea. You can talk more about it if you want. Yeah, CP algorithms, USACO guides. Let me go over this once again. So what we were saying was that, guys, we want an interval such that XOR of it is 0, the number of odds and evens are equal. So first, I want XOR to be 0. So if I calculate the prefix XORs, the prefix XOR of this prefix and this prefix should be equal. Because we know that the XOR of this part is this XOR this XOR. So it's 0 if these two numbers are equal. Also, if we calculate the sum till there, if I replace each even number with -1, each odd number with 1, the sum should be equal to in these two prefixes as well. So we are basically counting the number of pairs of prefixes such that their XOR and their sum in this array that we defined are equal. Consider that X is their XOR, Y is that sum. So we have several pairs now. We have to count the number of equal pairs, the number of pairs that are identical. We can just have a go forward, each time say that ans plus equal to np of pair of x and y, np of pair of x and y plus plus. That's going to be all. Is it clear now? If it's clear now, please put a plus or use this emoji. You could have recordings required for rating check. Recording is required is going to be hard. I mean, we cannot expect everyone to record, but there can be better detection system. What will the level of problems on RepoVive be? It's similar to Leetcode and Codeforces. It's going to be started from easy problems and go all the way to the hard problems so that it has something to give to everyone. Similar to Codeforces and Leetcode. It just starts from easy problems and goes to hard problems. So yeah, we have very hard problems for people who want a challenge on very hard problems, and also for people who have recently began to learn. We have easier problems that help them grow. Okay. Hey, not able to increase rating at all. So can you tell me which videos of your can I refer and grow? I highly recommend to you. I have a lot of videos. One thing that you can do is to go over the topic streams that I had. Let me bring playlists. You can go over these topic streams that I had. These almost never on Friday topic streams that I talk about DP graph and everything else. But now we are building something better. So if I want to personally recommend something to you better than those topic streams, what I recommend to you to do is to just attend the boot camps that we have. We are currently having a boot camp on central decomposition and the roadmaps. Follow the roadmaps. That would be the best thing, I believe. Because based on all the talks that we have with all the audience who attend these YouTube videos, they all said that the need that we have is this. That would help us the best. You should give me feedback as well. You should, guys, the point is that RepoVive is a community of all of us. I mean, basically everyone who are here have effect on how RepoVive is being built. And some people also suggest that we make RepoVive an open source project so that everyone can help improving its code base. So if you want, I mean, anything that you believe that makes RepoVive really amazing, because our standards is to make really something really amazing. I mean, we don't want to make something that's just good. That's not valuable. That's just we wasted our time. If there's something that you believe that you have a big pain point in that, and if we do that, it will really help you out, we will do it. You can just say it. We have thought about many things, but maybe you bring new things that we haven't thought about them. So if there's anything that we can do that would really help you out to grow better and faster, definitely let us know. We are very ambitious and passionate about doing something that is really, really great. Yeah. Yeah, Greg and Ari was the problem. That was about prefix sum and difference array. Yes, thank you, Part. 750 we saw more than. If you want to start a playlist, as I said, I mean playlists. I mean, if you just open it, you can go on them one by one, because they are sorted by the number of people that they have seen it, each of them. But that's actually based on difficulty as well. I mean, the interesting thing is that it's kind of sorted by difficulty as well, because the ones that are simpler, more people have watched it. Dynamic, you can start from dynamic programming number 1. This is the one that is watched the most, and it's a good start. It was actually the first topic stream as well. Then we have number theory, binary search, graph algorithms number one, dynamic programming number two, greedy algorithms, graph algorithms, problem solving, and the rest. This one should not be there. Yeah. But anyway. Okay. Let's me. Has already done topic streams. They are good enough. Yeah. I mean, they can help you out. But we are actually increasing that. Now we almost have everyday live streams every day. Previously, it was each week. I'm thinking of having topic streams each week as well. And for the rest of the days of the week, we will have the boot camps. But yeah, and everything on RepoWeb are free, guys. You don't have to pay anything, because if we want to get money about it, I mean, they are in contradiction. You cannot do something amazing and at the same time be greedy about money and everything. You cannot have that effect. I mean, we really want to do some great change, and that's that can only be done if we really are passionate about doing something that is really great and gives the best benefit to people. That's what we are aiming for. Thank you very much, Barth. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Sure. Great. Great. Let's move on to the next problem now. If this problem, there are no questions about it anymore. The next problem is concatenate non-zero digits and multiply by sum of two. I mean, this is the same problem as problem one. The difference is that this time you are given this string and each time you get a range in this string, and you have to just do the same thing. It tells you to just consider this range, consider the digits that are not zero, and make your number out of them, and multiply by the sum that they have. That's the whole thing that you should do. So and everything is modulo 10 to the 9th plus 7. How can we solve this problem? Because first of all, the easy part, again, this is prefix sums. So actually prefix sums is very useful here. If you basically just want to learn prefix sums, let me send it to you right here, because I believe maybe it would be great benefit for it, worth it to actually go and bring it up. You can watch the prefix sums. What happened? You can watch the prefix sums topic stream that we had. And I talked in that. Okay, it's not here. Prefix sums. This is all you need to know about prefix sums. This is a video that I made last year or something. It's all you need to know about prefix sums. If you want, you can take a look at that and learn about prefix sums. Are you hiring? That was a very good question. We have a team section that helps people to find like-minded people who want to learn stuff. So as you can see, you can here create a team yourself as well. So you know it. I mean, this is something that I experienced myself. When I want to go to gym, I haven't gone to gym for long. Now it's because I can't. I'm just working all day and I don't have the time, even an hour. But previously was that I needed someone else to go to gym together, because when you go alone, someday you're lazy and you just don't do it and everything gets ruined. But if you have someone else that you do it together, it would be very helpful. I know that a lot of people are there, at least a lot of my audience that we were talking. There are a lot of people who don't have access, for example, in their school or anywhere else, that they can study together. So this section is to resolve that pain point. That was the idea that we came up with, that we believe that it could really help. You can create your own team. You say that what you want to do, what is the level, and you can leave it open to anyone or make it approval required, or join the teams that are already there. And there's one named Build and Learn with RepoVibe as well, that if you are interested to build and learn with RepoVibe, you can be there. In there, we have a level 0 that we give you small tasks so that you actually learn and we see that how you perform. And If you do it well, you can go to level 1 and so on. This way, I think it gives free access to everyone to actually have a chance to become a core member in Repo Vive. And it also gives us the opportunity to find people like ourselves. I mean, we are also looking for people like ourselves who are deeply passionate and interested about doing something really big. So yeah, I mean, if you want, you can take a look at that. Let's talk about the next problem very quickly. So as I said, we have a string, we have some ranges in it, and we have to find out the answer for that range. So what can we do for that? Basically, the easy parts, as I said, was the prefix sum. Prefix sum, again, is very important in this problem too. You have to know prefix sum as well for this. You can, for each prefix of this string, just count sum up. That's what is the sum of all the digits in this prefix. Then when you are asked a range, you can just see that what is the sum of digits in this prefix and what is the sum of digits in this prefix. If this is A, this is B, the sum of digits in this interval is going to be A minus B. Then you can simply calculate the sum of the digits in this interval. So sum of digits easily will be calculated, right? Sum of digits will easily be calculated this way. You can just, for each prefix, calculate the sum, and it's just enough to see that what is the sum of this prefix and this prefix. You have already calculated them and subtract them from each other. That's going to be all. And then what you can do is actually, the easy part is done. We know the sum of digits. Now it's the harder part. That we have to see that what is the number in the middle. That's where it's a bit more mathematical. Okay. That's actually where it gets more mathematical. What we have to do for that, we do again a similar thing. Again, it's something like prefix sums, but it's a bit more. I mean, its idea is a bit more advanced. So we try to find out for each prefix, if I only consider that prefix, what is going to be the number if I ignore the zeros? So again, we calculate this for all the prefixes. That's what is going to be the number if I just consider that prefix. Let me fill it with some example. As long as it is 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 0, 3, 0, 4. I know that for this prefix, my number is going to be 12. For this prefix is 1, 2, 3, 4. So for each prefix, I keep that what is the number. That's very simple. Each time when you see a digit, if it's 0, the value for this prefix is equal to the value for the previous prefix. They are going to be the same. If it's not 0, it's going to be the value for the previous prefix times 10, because you have to shift all the digits to left by 1. So you have to multiply it by 10 first. Then you add this new digit to the end of it. And then you also need to say that modulo 10 to the 9th plus 7. And then when you want to calculate the answer for a range, you want to see that, okay, what is going to be the number in this range? You have to first see that how many numbers exist in here that they are non-zero. For that, again, you need another prefix sum. So this problem is all prefix sums. I mean, we are just throwing prefix sums at it. We need another prefix sums that tells you that in each prefix, how many digits you have that are not 0. Then again, for example, you know that in this prefix, there are 4 such numbers, 4 digits. In this prefix, there are 2 such digits. So in the range between, it's going to be 4 minus 2, which is 2 digits that are non-zero. Then, guys, this 12 that you have in here, what does it turn to at the end in this range? The point is that you're going to see 2 new digits. So this 12 is going to be multiplied by 10 twice. It's going to be shifted to the left twice. Actually, if you look at it, this 12 will be shifted to the left twice. So it's like in the number that we have in that prefix, it's like 1200. So the point is that you have to see that what is the value that you have here, and from it you should subtract the value that you have in here times 10 to the power of the number of non-zero digits here, which is in this case 2. So the number that you're going to have in the middle is going to be the number of the larger prefix minus the number of the smaller prefix times 10 to the power of the number of non-zero digits that we have in the middle. Because as many non-zero digits that we have in the middle, that they will multiply the number by 10. So times 12 to the power of 2, which is going to be 1234 minus 1200, which is going to be 34. So again, that's all. I mean, you have to see that what is this prefix? What is this prefix? How many non-zero digits you have here? You multiply this by 10 to the power of this, and you can pre-process 10 to the power of everything at the beginning. Modulo 10 to the 9 plus 7. And this way you can easily find out this too. At the end, you just multiply this by this a minus b, which is the sum of digits. That's going to be all. What about overflow? We won't have overflow because we are calculating everything modulo 10 to the 9th plus 7. If we keep everything modulo 10 to the power of 9 plus 7, then it's going to be okay. There won't be any issues. Do you have donations on the site? Maybe no. We don't have donations. I mean, definitely, if we reach the level that we needed it, we will ask for it, anyone who wants it. But I think that for now, we can go forward without it. So we would really appreciate it, though. But I think that as long as it's not really necessary, we should not ask for that. So if at some point it was necessary, we will ask. But if at some point we believe that it actually helps us to do something better, that we can't do that right now. I solved the Spudge LCS variation question and was on the cloud 9. Oh, I did not completely understand what you said, Parth. How was that related to LCS? And by the way, guys, if it was clear, please put a plus in the chats or use this 100 emoji. If it's not, with a minus, or just tell me to re-explain some part. And guys, how was the stream so far? There's something that I also understand myself. Maybe we are wasting some time in the middle of the live streams, and I understand that because we go sideways and talk about other things. But I hope that it's actually useful for you and we're going well. If there's something that you think that should be changed in live streams, for example, there are some issues that if we fix them, we can improve the quality of live streams. Definitely let us know. Oh, okay. Awesome. Great job. And guys, if you liked the video, I mean, I think it would be super helpful if you can like the video in here as well. I mean, if that's okay for you. I think that would really help the channel to be recognized better. Also, if you can, maybe commenting on the live stream. This is just something that if you wanted to do, definitely. I mean, if not, if it's hard or for any reason you don't want, that's completely okay. If you dislike it, feel free to dislike it. So it's actually something that if you want. If you're all okay, we will move on to the last problem, which is the hardest one. Okay, I guess that there are no questions on this problem anymore. So let's move on to the next problem, problem number 4, number of effective subsequences. It says that you are given an integer array nums. The strength of the array is defined as the bitwise OR of all its elements. A subsequence is considered effective if removing that subsequence strictly decreases the strength of the remaining elements. Return the number of effective subsequences in nums. So guys, we have to find out how many subsequences do we have such that if we remove them, then the bitwise OR of the remaining elements will change. This was the most challenging problem of the contest. You have to count them. This problem, let's talk about its solution. First of all, let's get to know such subsequences better. I mean, how does such a subsequence look like? Guys, the point is that if you wanna, yeah, definitely we can do. I mean, we can both do that topic stream and we can do the roadmap, or even both. Maybe I can create a roadmap, and on top of that roadmap, I mean, based on that prepared material, I will do a live stream as well, so that if you prefer video, you can watch it from the video. Definitely, we can do that. And we already have some. I mean, we have number theory, etc. We have number theory here. We have combinatorics as well. I mean, combination. I mean, both of them are number theory. Both of them are covered in number theory. So anyway, guys, how does a subsequence that changes the bitwise OR look like? It's gonna be actually like this. For some bits that we have, that subsequence for at least one of the bits, it should have all the occurrences of that bit. So, I mean, let's write all of the numbers in binary representation. Let's write all of the numbers in binary representation. And then these numbers that we choose in that subsequence, for at least one of these bits, it should have all of the ones that that bit has. So this way, we make sure that this bit is going to be removed from the final OR. So final OR is going to be changed. But if for any bit that exists, at least one of the number that has that bit remains, then the OR definitely will not change. So we have to count that in how many ways at least one of these bits, all of the recurrences will be removed. Do you agree with it so far? I click on this. Do you agree with it so far? If you agree with it, please put a plus or use this on the emoji again. I watched your prefix sounds video, was a bit confused on this 2D prefix sounds. Maybe that can be created again. Yeah, we can talk on the. I think on the topic streams we have talked about that too. I think, but yeah, definitely we can talk about that too. Okay, awesome. So yeah, for some of them, I mean, for at least one of those bits, all of the numbers that have that bit should be covered. I mean, when I see a situation like this, when we have several possibilities, like as soon as we have several events, E1, events number 1, events number 2, events number 3, and events number K. We want to count the number of ways that at least one of these events happen. What does it remind you to? I mean, what is the idea that it brings to your mind? Counting the number of ways that at least one of these events happen. Does it open a light in your mind? Does it remind you of something? DP problem, yeah, that's not bad, but any specific mathematical thing that when you see this, you should be reminded of that. We have several events. We want to count the number of ways that at least one of these events will happen. Exactly, inclusion, exclusion. It's inclusion, exclusion. The number of ways that at least one of E1 to EK will happen is gonna be the number of times that each one of them happen. So it's gonna be the number of ways that E1 happens, E2 happens to EK happens. And then you see that, for example, the number of times that E1 has happened and E2 has happened at 2, it is counted twice, once in E1 and once in E2. So you have to subtract those. Subtract size of E1, inclusion with E2, and so on. Then plus 3 of them, minus 4 of them, plus 5 of them, and so on. So when you have several events that you want at least one of them to happen, it should instantly remind you of inclusion exclusion, right? If you agree with it, please again put a plus or use this emoji. So the whole point is that when we face such a thing, it should bring, I mean, in your mind, when you solve a lot of problems that actually have, and that's why I say that you should solve a lot of problems so that your mind will be trained. When you see this pattern, your mind leads you to use inclusion exclusion. So that's what we want to do. So now for each set of bits, we want to count that in how many ways all the numbers that have these bits will be removed. For that, we should see that how many numbers have at least one of these bits, right? We should see that how many numbers have at least one of these bits. If a number has at least one of these bits, it should be removed, right? If a number has at least one of these bits, it should be removed. But for the rest of the numbers, for each of them, we have two ways. So if they are actually L numbers that have at least one of these bits, there's going to be 2 to the power of n minus L ways. That's all of these will be included because they will be included in one way. And for the rest, it's actually gonna be two ways for each. So now we should count that how many numbers have at least one of these bits. Okay. And what does that mean? Is that we basically want to see that what would be its equivalent rating on CF? I think its equivalent rating on CF would be 2000 or something. And event E1 is all the cases where last. I mean, assume that these are the bits that are 1. Assume that we have k bits that in some number they are 1. E1 is the events that the first one of them is gonna be fully removed. All the numbers that have the first one will be removed fully. E2 is all the events that the second one of them will be fully removed. And EK is all the cases where the last one of them will be fully removed. We basically are looking for these sets, E1, union, E2 union, E3 union, EK, which its size is going to be equal to this by inclusion exclusion, right? We want the union of all these events and see that's what is its size, how many events we have such that at least one of these will happen. So basically it's like counting that how many numbers for some specific bits, all of the numbers, all of those bits are 0 in them. This n minus L is equal to that. I mean, it's like we basically have to count that how many numbers don't have any of these bits. Those numbers should remain. I mean, can remain. The rest should be removed. Those numbers that in these bits are 0, all of them are 0, can remain. The rest should be removed. If we count that how many are these, if there are z numbers here, it's going to be 2 to the power of z ways. Because each one of them can remain or removed, the rest should be removed. Right? So we have to count this. And for this, what do you think we should do? This part is where it gets advanced, actually. How do we calculate that? How do we calculate that? In how many ways? Yes, I mean, we have a we have a subset of bits, right? I mean, for each of these, I mean, these are the subsets of size 1. These are the subsets of size 2. And then we consider subsets of size 3 and so on. Consider the subsets of size S. It means that they have S bits, right? By these bits, I mean these S bits, that in the current subsets that I want to count it, I'm considering, right? So each time I have a subset of these K bits, and I want to see that in how many numbers all of them are 0. If I can do that, the number of ways that these bits will be fully removed will be 2 to the power of 0. DP bit masking, yes, and to be more precise, it's called DPSOS. I don't know how many of you are familiar with DPSOS. This is an advanced DP. So the whole idea is that you want to count that how many numbers exist that in all these positions they are zero. So how can we do that? Well, it's like if we consider all the numbers that we have in inputs, assume that you have all the guys, it's completely fine if you don't fully understand the solution to this problem. If you are right now a beginner, it's completely okay that you skip this problem for now because growth happens step by step, and that's totally fine. I mean, it's everyone at the beginning was like that. I have a video that I literally show you that I was myself a newbie at the beginning, and growth is a step by step. So don't feel bad if you don't understand it fully. I'm just explaining it for people who solved the previous problems and this is their challenge. So it's completely okay if you don't completely understand it. I just explain it. Uh, Consider that you have a number like this in the inputs. For which masks it will be calculated? For the masks that are a subset of these zeros. So if my mask is this is 1 and everything else is 0, or this is 1 and everything else is 0, or both of them are 1 and everything else is 0, or everything in total is 0. So it's like if we consider the complement of this number in base 2 is 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, we want to add 1 to all of its subsets. That's exactly a classic DPSOS. I send you a resource for learning DPSOS as well, so that you can learn from it. On RepoVibe, unfortunately, we don't have something for that yet, but I will definitely make that in DP Bitmask. Definitely in a few days, it's going to be ready. You can read this from Yusako Guide about DPSOS or this Codeforces book about this DPSOS. SOS means subsets, sum over subsets. Sum over subsets. So basically, we want to add 1 to everything that is a subset of this. For that, we actually have an idea. We say that let's define DP of I and mask for some mask, the number of numbers that we have that's in the first, assume that the total length, the binary length of the numbers is L. In the first L minus I elements, they are completely equal to mask. In the last I elements, mask is a subset of them. So in here, they are completely equal. In the last I, mask is a subset of them. So the point is that when we see a new number, when we add a new number, initially DP of 0 and everything is going to be equal to CNT of that, how many of them we have here. Initially DP of 0 and everything can be calculated, and then DP of I and mask can be calculated from DP of I minus 1 and similar things. The point is that you should have condition of on if this is 0 or 1. I just gave you a very, I mean, I gave you an overview of what SOS is. But if you don't know what SOS is, it's completely okay. I mean, you don't really need to accept this problem for now. If there's any problem before that you haven't accepted that, try to focus on that. But if you are curious about it, you can read DPSOS doc as well. Although, again, I do not suggest it to you if you first believe that you have to practice the easier problems first. Yeah, I get it. So If there is any person who has to accept this problem, who has accepted the previous problems already and wants to solve this problem and didn't understand what I'm saying, let me know. Otherwise, if you understand it, put a plus or this emoji. So guys, basically for the last problem, there's this just combination of two ideas. Inclusion, exclusion, and DPSOS. That's all. Is it clear? I think that we don't get to that. I mean, let me very quickly see that. I mean, we can spend maybe a few minutes on it. Yesterday, bi-weekly. Which problem is it? The last problem or you mean the whole contest? The whole contest we definitely can't, unfortunately, because we definitely don't get to that. But question 3 of this contest or yesterday? Yeah, no worries. That's totally fine. That's totally fine. You should know SOS to solve this problem. So if you don't know, don't feel guilty about that. The last problem of yesterday's contest. You are given two integers, num1 and num2, with range num1 to num2. The waviness is calculated as a total count of number of its peaks and valleys. Okay. Okay. Any number. Okay. Return the total sum of waviness for all numbers in the range num1 to. Okay. Waviness is considered for each number. Then isn't that a simple prefix sums again? If I understood the problem correctly. Wait a minute. Okay. I got it. So num1 and num2 are given to you in the inputs that are the two sides of the range. Yeah, guys, in these problems, when you see it, the first thing that you should think about, guys, when you see these ranges, a lot of time you need to use prefix sums. When I look at it, that it says, give me the sum of the waviness of the numbers from num1 to num2. You can easily reduce this problem to calculate the number of good numbers from 1 to x. Instead of L to R, you can reduce it to 1 to x. And then if you solve it from 1 to any number, if you have a function that given an x, it can return to you the answer for 1 to x, then you can simply just return f of num2 if this is f of x. F of x is the answer for the range from 1 to x. If you solve this, I mean that you can always assume that it starts from 1. Because if you can solve this, every range, you have a function that you can just give x and it solves for 1 to x. You can just return f of num2 minus f of num1 minus 1. And then it should make the problem way simpler. I think that basically after this, you should just you have to count the number of numbers that is less than or equal to this. You can each time fix a prefix to be completely equal and fix the next digit to be something less than or equal to this digit. And then the rest can be anything. And just using these ideas and some DPs that counts that, okay, if at the end we can have anything, how many we have, pre-processing these things, it can be solved. So I gave you a very I didn't give you a detailed overview, but the general idea is this. You change it to 1 to each x, and then you have to solve 1 to num2 and 1 to num1 minus 1. And then for that, you will fix a prefix. You will fix the next digit to be less than what it is. And then the rest can be anything. That's the general idea. I hope that it helps. It was not a topic stream. when we discuss prefix sums. I just searched prefix sums, Shaya, and you will find it. I will send it to you. I wanted to remove this time stamp only. Uh, okay, guys, so let's have a quick talk for 5 minutes as well. Guys, do you have any ideas or suggestions for RepoVive to make it better? How RepoVive is helping you at the moment? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Is it helping you? Is it not helping you yet? And what do you think we should provide to make it actually helpful? I mean, the link. The link of the topic stream that prefix sums was discussed. I don't really remember. I'm not even fully remembered. I said that I think we talked about it in a topic stream, but I definitely don't remember if we talked on which topic stream was it. But in the boot camp, we talked about it again, right? So I think you were on the boot camp. So on the bootcamp, it was the same session that Greg and Ari was solved. Oh, but 2D was not discussed in that. If your issue is 2D. Yeah, I mean that's last problem was. I mean basically what I said when you fix a prefix, the digits of a prefix, then the next one is something less than that digit, and the rest can be anything. This is called digit DP. Yeah. On the topic streams, I'm not really sure if we have talked about two-dimensional. Maybe you can wait a little bit so that in the roadmaps it will cover it. So that would be helpful. That might be helpful. We will cover it on the roadmaps. So topic streams or advanced DPs. I think we did some. I mean, in the topic streams, we solved a lot of. I mean, especially the last DP ones. I mean, DP3 or something. We solved problems that were above 2000 rating. Question 3 of today. I don't know why, but I forgot what was question 3. I should really. You can use segment 3, but it's an overkill. Whatever you do with prefix sums, it can be done with segment 3 as well, but it's an overkill. So I recommend you to use prefix sums. Yes, that's right. That's totally right. I totally agree with that. That's a great feedback. Thank you very much. Also, we have this problems section that we add problems in there. So you can take a look at them as well. And guys, we are starting Instagram of RepoVive as well. And we are trying to make it more active because I believe that would really help RepoVive. So I had an idea, maybe we can do a short live stream on Instagram right now as well. Like maybe a 5 minute, 10 minutes, just to make our Instagram more active. I've never done a live stream on Instagram as well. I don't think it should be hard though. Maybe I can find it right now. It was just an idea that just came to my mind when I saw the Instagram page. Anyway, guys, we are trying to get more active on there too, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on everywhere, so that we can distribute RepoVive better this way. I'm having difficulty. Have you participated in Under Experts Level Up Bootcamp? That was exactly for this situation. If not, definitely do that. Allow users to add problems. That was a very good idea. Yeah. We can have a section for suggesting problems. A comment section for suggesting problems, and others can like like that too, so that if something had a lot of likes, that means that it has a proof. So we can add that. And some of them we also go and read them, and if we found a good problem we can do that. That's actually a good idea. I'm glad. I'm glad for that idea. That was great. Okay, sure, no worries. But if you want to aim to reach expert, I think that bootcamp is has more priority, because you should not try to learn topics first. It's more about problem solving. In that bootcamp, we focus more on problem solving. So if you want my advice, I think that probably that might be better. I mean, for me, it has no difference. Both of them are the videos that I made, but I guess that that would be more helpful for you. That was a good idea. I really liked it. Guys, that's great. I mean, you brainstormed very well. And if you wanted to contribute to RepoVibe, if you wanted to be part of it, if you wanted to learn with us, we are very excited to find people like yourselves that are as passionate to build something really, really great. So, yeah, that's actually a good idea. CSESTP problem set. RepoVive contest will be on RepoVive. RepoVive has a judge. So, we will have it on. I mean, the test contest will be up soon as well, and I will send you the link of that in Telegram channel and in other places as well. Maybe I do a post on YouTube as well, and then you can test it, test the judge before the contest so that you get familiar with it. It's nothing to get familiar with, though. I mean, it's just so that you see it at least once before the contest. Okay, guys, that was great. And I think that probably we can't do a live stream on Instagram. Let me search. Contest is in 1 day, 9 hours. That's the test contest, isn't it? I think that's the test contest. Bootcamp should be like, it is best if one covered bootcamp, he has enough variety of problems so that you don't need to go anywhere else. Yeah, a bootcamp that is gonna be enough for learning everything. Yeah, that's totally fine. Yeah, that makes sense. Sure, guys. Guys, again, it would be super helpful if you want it. There's no pressure on that, and you don't need to do this. But it would really help Ripple Life, our community, if you can like the video or comment on it after the stream. We would deeply appreciate it. But I mean, it's completely no pressure. Okay, guys, so I see you in a few hours. Please send me energy so that I won't fall asleep. I can wake up actually and start the stream. It's on damn 7:30 a.m. and it's already 12:17 a.m. and I'm still in the university. And I don't know when do I sleep. The main issue is that I probably can't sleep soon. But so I hope that I can. I have some works left too that I should do. There's guys a new feature that we're adding, the coins. I will share it with you. Hopefully before the contest tomorrow, I'll finalize it and I can share it with you on the solution discussion of the contest tomorrow. Our Instagram handle is RepoVive. That's it. So, and you can also go to our homepage. We have it. We have the link to our Instagram. So, yeah. We can't do the live stream today because I just did a quick look and I couldn't find it in that quick look. It wasn't there. I mean, it was real story and post. I don't know. Maybe I don't know why. Maybe the account is new or something. But anyway, sure thing. I hope that it really helps you guys. Awesome. See you guys next time. Bye.